that was never the plan. I myself wasn't like the best student in school. I wasn't a bad kid, but just school was I was a kid and school was just it was fun, but never like I'm gonna go into education anything like that. It's just something that happened later on down the line for me. I kind of found my calling, I guess you could say. Growing up, I wanted to be a rock star, and then as I got older, I realized, well, that's not a realistic goal. You don't go to college to be a rock star. Not everyone becomes a rock star. So I was asked to step here, and I took several long-term assignments, and I found out, like, well, this is pretty cool. Education, teaching kids, and especially here in Mendota where you're from, and we have, like, I think we have the best kids. So, as I was subbing and things like that, I met a lot of teachers who influenced me, and helped me along get through this. And I thought to myself, teachers are the new rock stars. I listened to a lot of rock music. I was a big Nirvana fan, or still am. Beatles, Radiohead, Pixies, the Smiths. So I grew up listening to a lot of rock music. I was never a huge hip hop fan. When I was in high school, I mean, Eminem had just came out, and Jay-Z, but I was never, that wasn't my thing. So back in 2005, to be exact, in August, I was at the doctor, and as I was waiting, I just picked up a magazine. It was Time magazine. And Kanye West was on the cover. And I knew Kanye West, I knew he raps and he was Jay-Z's producer, but that's pretty much it. So I'm reading the article as I'm waiting to be called into a doctor's office, and it's Kanye West this, Kanye West that, hype, all this stuff. I'm like, what's the big deal about this guy, So I go to the doctor, everything's fine. So I go home and I bought a CD at Best Buy, because back then, 10 years ago, you bought CDs. You don't buy CDs anymore. So I bought The College Dropout, I listened to it, and Jesus Walks and Through the Wire were the two songs that kind of stood out. And I go, you know what? That hype in that article, it was legit, And I kind of like, oh, this guy is everything that they're saying plus more. A week later, Late Registration came out. I bought that album, and it was awesome. I was just as impressed, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
So that's that. If it wasn't for that doctor visit, I probably wouldn't have been a Kanye West fan. I guess you could say I'm the biggest Kanye West fan, but I mean, there's millions of people could say that. I'm actually wearing his shoes right now. That is Adidas Yeezy 350 Boost. I'm a big fan. I've seen him in concert during the graduation tour, during Watch the Throne with Jay-Z, during the Yeezus tour. I guess I'm officially the biggest Kanye West fan because I created a classroom. So there you go. I'm the biggest Kanye West fan because I created a classroom. So. Administration notified me late last school year, April, May, and they go, hey, would you mind moving to 4th grade? And I go, I mean, whatever's best for the school. And I'm sure. I go, am I allowed to take my class with me? It'll help the transition. They're like, sure, you can take it. So I was moving. My classroom was in the next wing over, and this classroom was blank. So I'm having the same students. What can I do? I don't want to have the same thing, and So I thought to myself, I'm like, I can do a Kanye West theme, So I thought about it and was thinking of ideas, because I teach my kids to dive deeper in the thinking process. I ask my kids to think outside the box, to make a real life connection. So if I teach my kids to do these type of things, I should do them as a teacher. So I was very quick-witted with song titles and lyrics, and to make them into a positive learning environment. So I asked Sandra Morales, who's a 5th grade teacher here, hey, I'm going to do a Kanye West theme. What do you think? She goes, that's a pretty good idea. I like that idea. So she kind of helped me put this class together, and I could have done it without her. So I was just listening to Kanye West more than usual, and I was just like, oh, this can work for ELA, this can work for math, this can work for student of the month, this can work for reading. And I was just getting ideas here and there, and I just kind of shaped and molded it. I would say a very small knew who he is, and that's really not the main focus. The main focus is the education and the healthy learning environment.
Yeah.
But not many, now they know who he is. My on-site administration was very supportive. They understand what I created, and they're it's fine. It's positive. The kids are learning. Teach the standards. Teach the strategies, and that's as long as you're doing your job, they don't see anything wrong with that. And as far as parents, exactly 2 weeks ago we had back to school night, and I had 15 parents, and they loved the classroom. I was explaining to them the concept of the classroom, and they loved it. I think it's working. You know, I want to be the Kanye West of teaching, and what I mean by that is, I think Kanye West is the best at what he does, and I want to be the best at what I do. I want to be the best teacher I can, not for myself, but for these kids. So I want to grow and keep learning and help these kids. I created a healthy learning environment. It's working. So, and I won't have these kids next year. So then the third graders that are going to be fourth graders, this will be new to them. And I'll just add, I have a lot more ideas that I can do. And I'm like, oh, I could have did this, or I can do this next time, or I can add this and this, and I will continue to grow on that.